All right, so Augustine, you are 17 years old, and so far this year, how much have you made with your AI agency?
In rev generated, I would say maybe more than 25K. Not only one deal of 2K worth has come from ads, but then I would say that 90% of the leads that I closed are from YouTube. Yeah, I started uploading YouTube videos, but to overcome that fear of being seen by other people online, I started documenting my journey on my Instagram, something that I don't do so much now. Well, if you want to get closer to the results, you have to get closer to the people who already did it.
All right, so Augustine, you are 17 years old, and so far this year, how much have you made with your AI agency?
In rev generated, I would say maybe more than 25K. Yeah.
25K. And I know we were just speaking, and you've collected $20,000 cash collected, and then you have like 25K closed worth of deals, right?
Yeah, almost 20K collected, but then generated more than 25. Yeah.
And you're 17.
Yeah.
Crazy. Bro, I think you were beating me when I was 17 for sure. So let's talk about how you were able to do this, because what I'm sure we're going to talk about in this conversation is a lot different than what we talk about in my other conversations on my channel, because you've spent no money to close these clients. This has all been through essentially free content you've posted, and you can talk about the industry you work with, talk about everything, and you don't even work with US clients, you work in the Spanish market. So let's jump into it. Who do you work with? How did you close these deals? Just jump into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that money generated would be a mix of, giving consultings to businesses which need that done with your service. But most of the thing that I've generated, most of the money has been from done for you service, in which in the beginning of this year, taking into account that I have a strong YouTube channel and personal brand there, I could close, I would say that only one deal of 2K worth has come from ads, but then the other ones had came from my YouTube content, yeah. So I would say that 90% of the leads that I closed are from YouTube. Yeah.
From YouTube. And you make videos for med spas, correct, in the Spanish market to get them interested in your service, the AI agency service.
Yeah, exactly. Because I realized that if you don't niche, then you're screwed. It makes no sense if you want to scale your AI agency or whatever business that you're in. Because if you don't productize and if you don't go from offering a service which is so customized that you need even more people or have a bigger team for you to deliver in time and in the correct way. If you don't make that transition from a service to a product, then it's going to be impossible for you to scale, really.
100%. 100%. Gotcha. So, okay, so out of that $25,000 totals and deals, you had 2,000 that went to ads, but then the other 23 were from all organic content that you posted YouTube videos for med spas, that got interested and they bought from you, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How many subscribers do you have?
Exactly have 3,930, almost 4K. Yeah, basically 4K.
Almost 4K in that market. That's pretty crazy. So maybe let's start from the beginning, right? Because you joined our mastermind and everything 6-ish months ago. I think at the start of this year, right as you started everything.
Yeah,
how did you get into the whole entrepreneurship stuff? How did you get started
at
such a young age?
Yeah, good question. Well, when I was 16 years old, almost turning into 17 or in the middle of it, I started asking my a question that everyone does at my age, and that was, okay, what do I want in my life? Because I'm seeing my family, my relatives, my close friends, everyone that I know, and even on internet, which are already deciding what they are going to doing next in the next, I would say, 5 years. Most of them go to university. I'm not saying that is something wrong, but I went kind of deeper, I would say, and I thought, okay, which things, whether they are material things or experiences that I want to have in my own life, because we have one, in fact, so we have to make it worth it. Despite it sounds kind of cringe, but it's a reality. And I realized that if I was following the same path in which I was going to, that was, going out, partying, drinking alcohol, because at that age is the most normal thing to do, in fact. And then one day, as I train, I go to the gym. I had one friend who recommended me another friend who was in all of this of the AI agency side of things, and I saw this model. I tried to do something related with drop shipping, importing products from China, something weird, but nothing
Yeah.
obviously that really worked though.
Yeah.
So I just got into this, which is an opportunity that something special that it has that I realized and that I saw before is that you basically need no money for you to start. You can start doing outreach or making content for you to close that first deal. So that's what really made sense for to me because I had all the time of the world. I had all the desire to do something with my life. So I have this amount of time and this amount of money, and this model let me enter into its world. So that's why I entered here 2 years ago.
That's
Oh,
that's a great way to put it. Okay, so
mm.
you saw the model. I assume you stumbled across my channel or something. What was this, like 6, 7 months ago?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I bought, yeah.
I see.
Mhm.
So, okay, so you saw the model. You saw that you could start it with pretty much no capital with doing
Yeah,
either outreach or organic content. And you pretty much just went all into organic content, from my understanding. And you just started
yeah.
building up your YouTube channel and in the Spanish market. So you don't work with US clients, correct?
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet. Once you do, you'll make a lot. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
of that, for sure.
I know that. Yeah, yeah,
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to everyone and just talk to me about how you were able to get started with the YouTube channel side of things because as
Mhm.
you know, you're 17 years old, but most people are never want to get in front of camera because it's super scary, right?
Yeah.
And especially selling things to like how did you make the content so then people wanted to the med spas wanted to buy from you from it? Like
Mhm.
talk about that stuff. Talk about how you started your channel and then
Yeah.
how you slowly became this like funnel to make a bunch of money.
Okay, yeah. Well, when I started, that was in January of 2024. Well, I would say December of 2023. Um,
Okay.
I thought, okay, well, if I want to reach out to clients, what things can I do? Well, one of those things were creating YouTube content, or whether it's from on YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, or whatever. Then I could be doing outreach. And what made more sense to me, despite I was scared as hell, I started uploading YouTube videos, but in order to achieve, well, to overcome that fear of being seen by other people online, I started documenting my journey on my Instagram, something that I don't do so much now, as I don't need it. But that little thing let me then translate that, well, overcoming that fear to then being able to upload longer YouTube videos, long form videos. And then what I did was that I did a bunch of YouTube videos making tutorials of NAN, Chatbot Builder AI, well, some platforms that you might know, which are no
Yep.
code tools. And I was kind of lost with the type of content that I did until I discovered from other mentors that I had before uh, the concept of being so niche down with the content that you create. For example, if you had any kind of sales calls with your potential or well with your ICP, which is your ideal client profile ICP, you have to be creating content around that. For example, let's say that you have a sales call and someone told you about, okay, I get it, but how does it work? Can I hear from the, I don't know, the AI caller or the AI receptionist? How does it sound? Does it make pauses or does it just speak straight? Well, in order to for you to then make that objection disappear, you could be creating content, just a specific video or a bunch of them, showing how it works in real time. So based on that, I could not only make the ideas better in that way, but also making the packaging which is just about two main things. Well, the title and then the thumbnail. And just having those three things in order, the packaging, well, the title, the thumbnail, and the idea, then it made a lot of sense for me to make content and to make it more a leverage activity in myself. Yeah.
Very smart. So so you saw content as the thing that you could start doing, build an audience in it. You started making tutorials, and
Yeah.
then from there you went so niche that like the only people watching your content were the people that could buy from you.
Yeah.
And based on that, you obviously attracted the buyers to buy from you. So how much like you okay, so you've closed we'll just say $25,000 worth of deals, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what you've
yeah.
done so far this year. Um, how are you making these videos? Like, I want to go into detail for people watching on how they could maybe do this for themselves, right? They want to
Okay.
get on camera, they want to start making videos. How do you put like call to actions in the video for people to, book a call with you in the description, or what type
Yeah.
of video content are you making? What are the titles and the ideas? Maybe talk about this stuff so we have an idea.
Well, something related with YouTube. I had been creating before I joined the mastermind. I was creating like more broad and more mainstream kind of content of, well,
Mm,
news about AI or something like that, or a new platform that does this, this, and that, or open AI things.
yeah,
But when I saw your channel, I liked it. I liked the branding
yeah.
and that, yours and Wyatt's. And what I did was that almost like 4 or 5 months ago, when you helped me to, well, to find a niche that I would like
Yeah,
to serve. In
I
this
remember.
case, our med spas, as you said, aesthetic clinics and all of that. I started creating content, like literally copying you, despite
Yeah,
some.
I remember you did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I copied your thumbnails, your titles, obviously retargeted to my audience, which are, well,
just
clinic,
to med spas. Yeah,
yeah, to med spas. And then I just started creating content around that. But something that if you're just starting out or something, I have to be honest with you, you don't need something more expensive than just, well, an iPhone. I know that not everyone has it, but you don't need a professional camera. And then you need, well, Loom if you want to record your computer, because it's obviously the most important thing, because you will develop this kind of well, solutions to your clients in this device. And then, for example, I'm using, well, this microphone, which is not that good, and I'm
yeah,
using this here to support it. So as you can see, you don't need a
yeah.
lot.
You got the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so no excuses is what you're saying, partly too, to go make content.
Yeah, it makes no sense to buy expensive things related with it. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. So you started making content. Talk a little bit about what was the type of content you were making? Was it just looking at other people online, maybe like myself, and the type of videos we were making, and then making that for your industry, and then that's how you got the traffic? Is that what you did?
Yeah, what really switched and made the difference was that I started to follow your advice related with, okay, let's say for example that you have already run out of ideas, where can you bring more? Okay, and something that I think it was Wyatt, yeah, I think it was Wyatt in one of the Zoom calls, that he
Yep.
told me that, okay, why don't you go to this, well, XYZ channel? I'm not going to say that the names, right?
Sure.
He told me you could copy ideas from other industries, not necessarily from AI agencies or something related with it. And he told me, okay, go for the drop shipping space, go for the e-commerce space. And then I started, well, looking up for ideas there, and even in English. So obviously they were not going to be here in the Spanish market, so I had all the liberty to do it.
Yep.
And yeah, I started just to bring the content, well, from the US and from other industries to this one, to the agency, but in Spanish, so it made total sense. Yeah.
You're dropping game, dude. You're dropping game because this is some stuff I learned earlier this year too about content. Okay, so you took winning formats from other industries, other creators, brought
Mhm.
them to your industry, and then started making content about it. And that is how you got these med spa owners super interested because it was getting eyeballs.
Yeah, exactly. And you could also use, well, extensions, Chrome extensions, if you want a more practical step, as for example, vidIQ or TubeBuddy, so you can see the outlier
Yeah,
videos.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. Perfect. Okay, cool. Now let's jump a little bit into the industry side of things. So you're working with medical clinics, med spas,
Yeah.
and you're running the kind of basic AI agency service for them, correct? Where it's like
Yeah.
building AI caller, doing marketing, both of them, correct?
Just AI.
So you're just implementing AI caller, no marketing.
Just AI. Yeah. Yeah.
Once you go to the U.S. market, you got to start doing ads. That's a huge market for it. So once you do
Yeah.
that, you can do it.
Yeah. I know it is. Yeah, you're right. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe you want to go into a little bit of detail of how you're pitching this stuff. You don't have to go into crazy detail, but like some of
Okay.
the pricing you're doing, and then kind of like some of the deliverables, and then just like how you're going through it.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Well, something that could be useful for someone who is watching this. Um, Related with the sales goals, we have to take into account that despite someone could come to our calls nurtured or could have some idea whether it's broad or specific about what we do and whatever. Something that was so useful in my case was to have two calls, right? First, you have the discovery call, and then you have the implementation call, or the one in which you just present the offer, right? And related with this, going more in depth, in the first call, as its name says it, it's a discovery call. You start asking a bunch of questions: what they do, how long have they been in the market, how much questions do they have per day or monthly, if they are running ads or not, which things already doing for getting those leads, which platforms they use to sell, whether it's WhatsApp, SMS, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. And then you can start being like a doctor in which you're just diagnosing the things that your patient or that this potential client could need, right? And once you have already identified that, you could use Fathom AI Note Taker, which is something that everyone in the
Everyone
mastermind
has
has.
it. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so good. It's something free that you can use to record your sales calls, and then it gives you the transcript. You just give it to I don't know, a GPT from OpenAI or something, and then you can create a customized offer, which then you will be able to present in a second call, which will be so customized and so centered to that person that that person will feel the personalization, the customization. And then well, obviously you have to be kind of good with, well, with sales, so you can get rid of objections. But if you create good content and the people come to you and you don't go to them, then it will be eventually closer, yeah, easier for you to close.
Bro, you're dropping all the game from the mastermind, bro. That's super dope. So obviously that works. I think you get that, you got that style and structure kind of from was it from one of the master classes we hosted? Maybe it was with Peter, the two call close, everything we talked
Yeah, I
about
don't
there.
remember. Yeah, there was so much
It
content
was
stuff.
from some of
Yeah,
them. Okay, yeah, because we
yeah,
have
yeah.
guest speakers that come in. Okay, so
That's
that's probably
cool.
where it was. But that's really smart. So you have the first call, which is where you just ask questions
Yeah.
and just understand their pain points. So then you can give the entire call recording and transcription from Fathom Note Taker to ChatGPT, create a custom offer, then
Yeah.
jump on the second call with them where it's actually the sales call, and then you pitch that custom offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. That's really smart. Okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about more of like the kind of, I guess, foundational stuff in the business, right? Because
Okay.
this is something I said in another video, but it was like it doesn't matter what business information I give you if your foundation and mindset is just not unstable.
Mm,
It's just going to go right through you. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to retain it.
yeah.
What have you done, and what have been some of the important things for you that you can kind of just touch on that have been important for your mindset going into the everything entrepreneurship wise, right? Because
Okay.
you're 17, you've made over $20,000 this year. I think you told me it's like over 65% profit margins. Like just
Mhm.
that amount of money alone for a 17-year-old is obviously, especially being in the Spanish market, is crazy.
Mhm.
So talk about what are some of the things you've done that have been super, super important to you, just maybe personally, to help build the business and lead the kind of the company.
Well, yeah, something that comes to my mind immediately is now that I see you, is having mentors, right?
Yeah.
But limited. You cannot have four mentors, right? You cannot have more than two. It's my opinion. What I did, and basically that's why I entered your mastermind and in other mentorships,
Yeah.
was that okay? I am on this part. I'm on this point A, let's say, and I want to reach point B. Okay, so I have to find, and that's what I did when I entered. I have to find in YouTube or somewhere else someone who is in the position in which I want to be at, whether it's on business, whether it's on their lifestyle, or something that I would like to achieve and something that I admire or respect. That's well, when I found you, well, it called my attention, and I wanted to get closer. And obviously, if you want to get closer, well, if you want to get closer to the results, you have to get closer to the people who already did it, right?
Yeah.
Because what happens? I'm making like I would say 5K, 6K, 4K per month currently now, being completely honest. And if I get closer to someone who is making more than 100K per month as you do, or Wyatt does, obviously you will get that growth as well, right?
Yep.
Obviously if you put it work. Now, something else that has been very, but very, very, very important for me was going to the gym, right?
Very
Despite good,
common answer we hear. It's true. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it does. I don't want to make the motivational speech or something, but obviously we already know that it builds discipline, it motivates you and whatever, but it helps you also to relax, because as we are always here in the computer or sitting down or doing something, whether it's for ourselves or creating content or for our clients on the delivery side, we have to have something, a habit, in this case, going to the gym training, to clean our mind, right?
Yeah.
Because if not, you'll get burned out.
Yeah. Super
And
true.
then, yeah, maybe I would say that a third thing, just to make it short, would be to take action and to take full responsibility of the things that I get into. Okay.
Very true.
Yeah, I joined the mastermind. I almost got out because I was
Yeah.
kind of scared,
Yeah.
being completely honest, as we
I
remember.
remember.
Yeah. And I had to find a way to pay it. I had to find the way to overcome it. And
Yep.
obviously, once you finish that, of course, it's not easy because I was scared as hell. And I thought I wasn't going to be able. But I just kept putting the work, putting the inputs that now
Mm.
we will be talking about that then. And I just did it. I could be able to afford the mastermind, and because I knew, and as you told me, despite I didn't like at all when you told me in that moment, that was my fault, right? I just got
Yep.
into it, so I had to finish it up.
I think one of the key things you said there was people need to financially commit themselves. And that's something a lot of people are afraid to do, just as you were, right? And I've been afraid to spend a lot of money on programs, right? I've spent a lot of money on different coaching programs, mentors. And if you don't pay anyone, you get a bunch of information for free. You
Mhm.
almost don't take the information as serious. Like, you could get free information from Elon Musk, but you might not take it as serious if you just paid him for the information. Because once you pay, you've given your own commitment, not only of your time but in your money. So it's a really clear difference, and it's like that's why a lot of fitness trainers, when they bring on free clients, a lot of those free clients actually never end up getting results because they never had to financially ever commit to anything. When you have
Yeah.
to commit, you have to commit with your action too, because you're like, well, I've already paid for it. I better go do it and I better commit. And
Mhm.
that's what forces you.
Mhm.
But yeah, bro, you dropped a lot of really good information there for sure around
Good.
mindset, because I think
Mhm.
it's the most important thing for every beginner entrepreneur that's starting, right? I
Yeah,
think you
of
could
course.
agree.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last thing, and kind of one of the last things I wanted to touch on was like, what is some advice you could give to a beginner today that's maybe starting and looking at maybe the AI agency model, for example, and they're a little bit like in this like analysis paralysis phase of like, do I do it? Do I not? Like,
Mhm.
like what would you tell something like that? Right? You being 17 years old, like crazy results this year so far.
Yeah, I think that people should allow themselves to make the ideas they have in their mind to grow. Okay, what do I mean with this? If you have been thinking about starting, your personal brand, starting creating content, starting being in the entrepreneurial side of things or world, uh, it's for something, right? It's not for any random reason. So what I would do would be to make yourself to be more like nurtured with the content that you consume, so then you get more motivation for you to start. And then once you take that first step, you should be deciding for a model. In my case, and in Carson's as well, has been, well, the agency model, which works as we are here right now for something. Um, and yeah, for starting out, I would say that it will depend on how fast you want the results, and also on the resources, whether they are contacts, money, time, and whatever that you have. For example, if you have a lot of money, I would pay someone to help me to create my offer, to define my message, my marketing message, the content that you create, who is your ICP, ideal client profile, your audience or whatever. and then around that and based on that, you could make everything in top of that, right? For example, if you have money and if you have already paid someone for you to have more clarity on what to do next, now you can start investing that money more intelligently or smarter, whether it's on ads if you want to go faster, because it's the thing that brings most of the results in the short amount of time. But then you could also, if you want to play like in the long term, you could be having or creating a YouTube channel, as Carson did and I did,
Yep.
which obviously is not going to be bringing results immediately, unless you are so good and you have so much luck. But in the midterm or in the long term, it builds trust. Okay, that's what organic content does. So that's in my experience what works for me.
For sure. I think that's really good advice to anyone that's starting. Well, Augustine, where can people find you? Instagram, you want to drop it real quick so people can follow you
Yeah,
off the video?
yeah. Instagram is AGUSTINDESIMONNE. That's it. That's I
Cool.
got C
I'll put it in the description as well of the video so people can find you there. But
on YouTube.
it's been a great chat with you so far, Augustine, and I'm really excited to see what you're gonna do. I mean, shoot, when you're my age, bro, you might be doing you're probably gonna be doing better than I am. So
Yeah, I
it's pretty
gotta,
crazy to see, bro. And again, keep up the good work. And dude, it's been an awesome conversation. See you, bro.
see you.